So I saw this video from Struthless about 2 years ago.
Maybe this will start a new tradition. Who knows? 32 ways to be better at life.
And I thought, it's been a hot minute since I've done my 25 lessons in 25 years video, and I feel old AF. And a lot of real life shit has happened. And at the time, I was literally about to turn the big 3-0 and felt my impending doom. But obviously, I am not 30 anymore, and I did not get to do that video, mostly just because of life shit. And with my birthday right around the corner, I thought I would take a page out of Struthless's, you know what I'm trying to say. So without further ado, a brand new twist on this list: 32 ways to survive a quarter-life crisis by The Leaf Factor, age 32. Let's get going so I can stop overthinking this frickin' intro. 1. We're gonna start with the most important one that has literally been the theme of the past year of my life. Always be closing. As Casey Neistat so eloquently put it,
someone who starts something and doesn't finish something, that is a loser. Someone who starts something and always finishes it, that is a closer.
And I am sick of being a loser. Basically, starting this year, I was getting really sick of my own bullshit, not putting out everything that I had been making and filming all these years, but not actually putting it out and truly closing it. I have been a loser for many a years, and I'm sick of it.
You can't close shit. You are shit. Hit the bricks, pal, and beat it, because you are going out.
2. Keep keepsakes in a plastic container or in a fireproof safe. Someone up there must like me because it super was close to being a hard lesson to learn. My basement actually had a pretty bad flood, and that is where I keep the majority of my keepsake stuff. And the water stopped inches before it hit the closet that stores all of my sentimental stuff. If that even just went a little bit further, it would have been full of sewage water and everything would have been ruined. My great grandpa, that he actually fought in World War II, and he had kept diaries since he was literally, I think my dad said he was in elementary school up until post-war, and his house had a fire and it burned up everything, and my dad said that he was never the same. So, yeah. 3. Document as much as possible. I have kept journals. I think the earliest entry that I can recall right now was when I was literally in grade 1, and I can remember stuff from kindergarten. Is it a blessing or a curse? Who knows? Even just doing these YouTube videos for the past almost 8 years, Jesus Christ. Being able to document as much as I can through journaling or recording videos has really helped jog my memories to be able to tell better stories and whatnot. Plus, when you're ever feeling super reflective and you want to look back on eras that, quite frankly, aren't the best, it can give you a better understanding and learning to move forward. So document as much as possible, the good, the bad, and the ugly. 4. This one I learned from my Gen Z coworkers. Look at me trying to be all young and hip.
How do you do, fellow kids?
They have told me, do it for the plot. Don't let fear control what you really want to do. How else to describe it, really?
Identifying risk, identifying fear, and then just smashing through it. Because a fear is looking back and wishing that I had done these things.
And pretend you're literally in a movie.
The time is now. The right time is always now.
What would that character do to move the plot along? Because you never know what might happen. It might surprise you. I mean, I wish I could tell you more about the repercussions of me taking this advice, but we're still in the unfolding stages of that, so just know that so far it's been worth it, and also very, very scary.
The most dangerous thing you can do in life is play it safe.
5. Pray like it's up to God, but act like it's up to you. 6. Everything happens for a reason. This one I learned from Trisha. Even though getting a blood clot honestly really sucked.
It made me really self-conscious. Not just the medical scariness, but it was also the fact that I couldn't fit into my clothes anymore.
And I'm still dealing with the repercussions of today. I'm literally still on blood thinners. And then COVID happened and then prevented me from going to Japan even longer. Now in hindsight and finally fulfilling that goal, I have learned that bad things will happen, but there will always be a silver lining to pretty much every situation. If the blood clot didn't happen, and I did go to Japan when I was supposed to, I would have been stuck in Japan during COVID, and that could have been honestly terrible. thought of being in a foreign country, even a country that I love so much, during a pandemic is kind of scary. And then getting to go just when like COVID was at the tail end, and I got to experience like going to the red gates by myself with no tourists, like that is still like probably one of the biggest highlights from me living there. But from those bad experiences, a lesson is always learned. And to add an even extra layer to this point, when I got back from Japan and got that part-time job, and it turned into a promotion that, you know, stalled my YouTube growth, but it did push forward my financial goals. I only got that job because of my stuff from YouTube. Eventually, everything kind of like puts together and it just like works out, you know? 7. Ask for signs. I learned this recently and oh wow. It's to the point where like it's not just like, oh, that's just a coincidence. It's like eerily obvious. When you're asking for signs, make sure you are hyper specific. 8. Stop trying to multitask. You suck at it. No one can actually multitask. 9. Okay, we're going on a little bit more of a heavy one. When you feel like you need to apologize, just do it right away. The main person I'm thinking about right now, my best friend back in 2019, you know, I did apologize to her. It was only like a few weeks, but it was a few weeks of me feeling like a total ass and being so sad and upset. And when I did eventually apologize to her, like, thankfully she forgave me, but I still feel like pretty bad about that. And the second one that I'm currently working on, it sounds like that there was never any anger because I actually, you know, got a response back, but I haven't quite been able to lead up to me apologizing quite yet. Sometimes you gotta have a delicate balance. But my point is, don't wait, because if you do, it's gonna eat at you. So the sooner you apologize and make sure you don't expect forgiveness, everyone will be better off for it. 10. Bring
Keep
a toothbrush to work. 11. Surface is not storage. When you move to a brand new place and you have absolutely nothing except for a bed and a bathroom, you quickly learn you need some kind of mini organization system that can be cheap. Things will always look worse before they get better. 12. When it comes to organizing your space, aim for the 1-2 step rule. It should take you 1 to 2 steps to be able to access an item or put an item back. I learned that lesson when I organized Richard's basement of clothing collection of 10 years of thrifted clothing. That video is coming. I cannot wait until that comes out. Ow!
Glad I'm not the only one.
13. 10% of people will hate your guts.
The question is, do you want their life?
It's usually a reflection of something that they don't like about themselves.
The only people who have shit to say are the people who have time to say it because they're on the sidelines doing shit.
And the fact that something about you shows straight to them like a mirror of what they either didn't achieve in life or what they can't do could enrage the right kind of person. So just let it roll off your back. You're doing fine. 14. Is this thing worth another hour at that shitty job? So this lesson I ended up learning back in 2023 when I had just come back home from Japan. I was 12 grand in debt with no job. Thankfully, I did land an assistant manager role at Claire's by my old boss from back in 2019 in the blood clot era, and I worked there for about 8 months before I was able to get out of debt. But you will have temptations, and the temptations in Claire's with all the cute things, especially closer to Halloween with all the Nightmare Before Christmas stuff, you pick it up, you really want it, but the moment you ask yourself, is this worth another hour at this job? It immediately puts into perspective that you don't need this thing and you just want to get out of this place as fast as you can and move on with your life, finally.
3. Oh, I went the wrong way. Fuck me.
15. Replace until you're basically ready to fully remove. Mostly learned from trying to lose weight and like maintain my weight loss because I did fluctuate for a few years in my early 20s and a little bit in my later 20s, but that was mostly due to COVID. Besides the point, replace the bad thing with a more healthy option. 16. Since we're on the topic of addictions, sobriety actually helps build a backbone. I have a problem with telling people no, and telling people no to having a drink when I didn't think I'd be in that situation much, so I didn't think I'd get much practice, but turns out when you're at like a real job, or I guess just corporate job now, you're presented with the option to drink a lot more than I expected, but it's definitely been helping. I've been able to say no to a lot of people, and it's kind of pissing people off a little bit, but as of now, I still haven't had any alcohol since December 25th, 2024. If you're wanting to practice that, yeah, sobriety helps a lot. 17. Okay, this one's gonna sound a bit harsh, but I learned this from my dad. If they don't ask, they don't care. And that's a hard pill for me to swallow. 18. Victims become villains.
Villain says, the world hurt me, I'll hurt it back. The hero says, the world hurt me, I'm not gonna let it hurt anybody else. Heroes use pain, villains are used by it.
And damn, when he said that, it just like struck such a chord.
For people who are not where they wanna be, is that they have pain. You're being used by the business owner who, it doesn't treat you well and is in this job they don't really want to be in, versus saying like, this is terrible. Completely sobering up, taking the knife and twisting it in your own heart and being like, I'm going to fucking do something about this. We're heroes in our own story. It's not avoiding pain. You have these terrible situations. It's like, and you have the opportunity to turn them into magic.
19. What about my environment is keeping me in jail? Moving to Japan, even if it was shorter lived than I was wanting it to be, was such a great way for me to push myself further than I have ever gone. It is still the hardest experience I've ever had. I just want to sleep. But one that I would gladly do all over again, no matter how hard it really was. So if you really want to change yourself, the first thing you should be doing is looking at your environment. 20. 2 is 1 and 1 is none. I learned this the hard way. Hard drives. I was working off one hard drive for years and it crashed on me and I didn't have anything backed up and I had to spend almost $1,000. The footage from years of work, a lot of it was lost because my dumbass didn't make 2. 21. Only ask for advice from the people who are living the life that you want. Sounds like common sense type of advice, but you'd be surprised how often that is not the case. 22. Pulling Taylor Swift with numbers here. I'm just gonna read it because I made it a little bit long. When planning a trip, have one pre-planned site to see or excursion in the morning, and then have the rest of the day completely open for exploring random areas. I did do this for my first trip when I went to Japan. That trip had the best memories, and the best memories from that trip were literally the ones where they weren't pre-planned to a T. Even the Hello Project concert that I pre-planned to a T.
And I probably spent way too much money on goods, but that's okay because this is probably not going to happen for at least another 5-10 years, so I don't care.
That was amazing, but on a last minute whim, I ended up meeting people. I'm gonna move on, and got to go to Bono's second last concert.
My new friend, and we're waiting for the encore.
I thought I heard music.
Oh no, almost.
And oh my god, the experience of that, I still, when I look back on that, like I tear up from happiness. Like just, oh, it was so good. It was just so good. It was just so good. 23. You'll never regret a bike ride, especially when it's this pretty outside with all the fall leaves going. 24. Change only happens when staying the same is more painful than actually changing. 25. If a tough conversation needs to happen, give yourself 1 to 3 days to process. Also, no texting your problems to people when you do have a problem with someone. Just say in the text, hey, I think we need to chat. Let's pick this day and make it as soon as possible so that like whoever is anxious, or even if it's you that's the anxious one, doesn't overthink it for days and lose sleep over it. Do it as soon as humanly possible. You need to talk about it in person because texting issues is just the easiest way for miscommunication, and we do not want that. I got a little intense there, I'm sorry. 26. Unpopular opinion, therapy is not for everybody, especially me. Tried it last year and yeah, no. When your therapist literally tells you, oh, it sounds like you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing. The fuck, I just spent $150 for you to tell me I'm doing exactly everything right? Fantastic! Yeah, you'll never see me again, I'm good. So I've just stuck back with journaling and working on myself, and you know what? I am doing better. That being said, it wouldn't hurt to try, but don't be upset or feel like there's something wrong with you if it's not for you and it's not the right fit. do something else. Usually taking action and actually like doing something for any kind of progress will fix the issue. But you know, I also don't have some major mental issues. I'm giving a lot of platitudes for this. Anyway, moving on. 27. Want healthy hair? Learn how to French braid. 28. Keep a notes app in your phone for like future gift ideas. You notice something that's missing in their life at their house specifically, where it's like, oh, if they had this item, their life in general would be a lot easier. So you just take a little note, and then when it's time to actually like buy gifts, you'll have it ready to go, and you'll look like a very good person because you remembered and know them so well, when in reality you know how bad your memory is. 29. Monkey Mind menu. Now I know that sounds weird, but hear me out with this one. My sister came up with this term whenever like my anxiety would like go in my head a little bit too much. Basically just like using something to distract yourself until you have the time for your emotions to calm down enough to like kind of think through the situation. 30. People who talk crap about others will eventually do the same to you, so just remember that. 31. If you have a natural knack for something, pursue it. When I was in grade 7, like YouTube was just starting in 2007. Oh my god, I'm so fucking old. I know like a lot of you big YouTubers are like, oh, no one really cares about you, blah, blah, blah. But like, oh my god, when I first started YouTube and people found it, you wouldn't believe how much judgment and like mean comments I get from people literally in my life. Thankfully not my parents, mostly old high school people. Love that for me. Yes, I knew my videos were bad because I was just starting, but like they were mean. So it is possible to have judgment from it, but you gotta push past it because eventually it will do something good for you. 32. Start training your intuition to trust your own judgment on making decisions. I mean, I don't think it's bad to ask for advice every once in a while, but if you ask for it too often, like you're gonna get used to not thinking for yourself through journaling and like really like talking through my thoughts to myself first. It helped me be more confident in my own decisions so that like when I'm about to update like friends, family or whatever with something that I'm about to do, I've already made the decision and I'm like clear on it. You don't wanna be a sheep, you know? Learn to think for yourself. Alrighty, that's the list. I hope at least some of these resonated with you guys, but you know, as for all tip videos, take whatever works, and whatever doesn't work, just toss it. Doesn't matter. I think these are fun. Thank you guys so much for watching, and a little extra announcement. I'm actually going to be launching a second channel. It's called the Late Bloomer Diaries because this whole channel is basically me going through a quarter life crisis as a late bloomer. Even though I'm like coming out of it clearly with this video, there are so many projects that, you know, you'll see me struggle bust my way through my quarter life crisis, where all these pieces of advice came from. Basically this channel, but less cut, you know? That I explained that so terribly. The editing Lee is gonna have a time with this. So it's already been launched. The link for it is down below. Remember to think for yourself, use your head, learn something new, and please subscribe because I'm taking this seriously now. And I will see you guys next week for the Living in Japan series every Thursday morning at 9 a.m. So without further ado, see you next week. That was really weird. I don't know what that was. I'm gonna go before I keep rambling. Bye!